Holy shit. Oh my god. I have not been that exhausted coming out of a movie in a long time. And I don't mean just, physically exhausted. I mean, I am emotionally drained. That thing, holy fuck-a-doo. There's going to be a lot of swearing in this one, folks, so you just need to be okay with that. So be aware. I don't know where to start. Let me say this first off. It's a good movie. It's a very good movie. But, and this is not a but like in a but there's this big negative. It's this thing that you got to kind of, the trailers and all the advertisements, they can be a little misleading in that we've seen movies like this before. We know movies like this one, the World War II tales of survival and tales of courage and all that. We've, those feel-good kind of WW2 epics. And this movie gives you that impression that it's just going to kind of be another run-of-the-mill one of those. And when you go to see one of those movies, going in, you're dealing with Nazis. So obviously this isn't going to be, a happy-go-lucky situation. But, the trailer and the poster and everything gives you this, this impression of, we're going to bamboozle those wacky Nazis, and yeah, it's going to be a little tense here and there, but, it's going to be all feel-good and stuff. Holy fucking shit. Do they just pile on what fucking assholes Nazis are? Holy shit. And they run through the entire gamut of atrocities, from shooting adorable animals to everything, all points south. I mean, you think of something terrible that a Nazi could do, they fucking do it in this movie. And what's worse, and this is almost what makes it worse, is that the director of this, brilliantly, in my opinion, because it really sticks with you, the director does all this in a very Hitchcockian, Spielberg, Jaws-esque way, in that, except for very rare situations, they don't actually show you anything. They show it in quick cuts, or you just hear a sound effect, or you see the setup and the result, and they don't show you the in-between a lot. So your mind is left to fill in the blanks, and you know what those blanks are. Anyone who has even a cursory understanding of World War II knows exactly what those end results are, and you're left going, and I mean, Jesus Christ, this movie is like an endurance test. And I obviously that's what they were going for. Clearly, they wanted you to feel just how dangerous and how tense and how dark and how ugly a time and a place and a situation this was. They don't want to sugarcoat one little bit of it. And like I say, the movie began at 7. It's now 9:30, so about 2.5 hours. And it is just, it's unfrickin' relenting. And just when you're at the point where you don't think the Nazis and the situation could get any more dark or bleak or ugly, fuck, they just shove your face in the next thing. God damn. I saw this with my friend Elizabeth, and she just leans over like, people suck, man. It's like, yeah, I guess that is kind of the underlying message. But yeah, I mean, man, I don't know. I want to talk about so many other things, but it's like, that is just the thing you take out of this movie, is just the sheer brutality of the filmmaking. In a good way. In a way that worked, that wasn't gruesome, but got its point across, and got its point across hard. You know? And man alive, what a trip. So yeah, shit, I don't even know where to start with this. So if you don't know what this is about, it's about the owners of this the Warsaw Zoo in Poland, obviously. During the war and during the Nazi occupation, who, after the initial bombings and everything, found all these ways to hide and smuggle Jews out of Poland, or get them out of the ghettos and then save a couple from the concentration camps. The only thing I'd say the movie does a little bit of disservice in is when you read the end caption thing, that little wrap-up of history that these films like to do. It basically tells you that they got more than 300 Jews out of there, and that, I mean, god damn, that's impressive when you see what they all had to go through. And I think that's another great thing I like about this movie, and again, a way that exhausts me is that you watch these movies usually, and it's this, I don't want to say it's sugar-coated, but it's kind of sugar-coated. I mean, but this movie doesn't for a second let you forget just how much shit everyone involved went through. How much shit the people getting them out of the ghetto had to go through to get them out. How much shit they had to go through to hide them. How much shit the people being hid had to go through. Literally, in some cases. And just, it lets you know that, and I think it does a good job of showing you the tension that these people, that it puts on their everyday lives. The only thing I will say that I think I didn't like, really, is that, I mean, it tries to encapsulate the entire time span. So it tries to go from just before the war, as the war begins, during the war, and then tries to give you the aftermath. That's a lot of history to go through, and it zips through some things really quick, to the point where it's like, wait, when did that happen? There's a point where the main character is just suddenly pregnant, and then suddenly is giving birth, and then suddenly has a daughter. You're like, when the hell did all that happen? It's like, and it does kind of the same thing with some of the history. It zips through it real quick in some cases. In others, it stays there for a long fucking time. Big props. I gotta talk about this. I didn't recognize any of the actors save one, and I gotta give huge props to my girl Jessica Chastain. I hope I'm pronouncing her name right. Who you may or may not know starred in my favorite movie of 2016, Miss Sloane. This woman has very quickly become one of my favorite working actors. I love watching her act. She's brilliant. She is a very, very, very good actor. And I would lay money down that she's had a lot of stage acting experience. Because her acting is not it's not presentational. It's not putting everything out. I find myself, as I do these reviews, I tend to use buzzwords a lot. I go through periods where I remember I went through a period where everything was obnoxious. I use the term obnoxious a lot. and now I'm using the term understated a lot. Like every other week, I'm like, it's very understated. I said things in Power Rangers are understated. So I need to look into getting a thesaurus. But her performance was very understated. It was honest. She played the accent, the Polish accent, very, very well. And conveyed a lot with just silences and looks and all that. And I mean, she does a hell of a job in this. And, you know, like I said, very quickly becoming one of my favorite actors. It's kind of gotten to the point that if her name's in the title, it's like, I'm going to go see that shit. I mean, you know she's going to be good in it. Man. Trying to think of what else. It's just an adrenaline rush. Okay, another thing I didn't like is that, okay, so at the very beginning, they're trying to show, obviously they're doing this stark contrast between, you know, life before the war and life during. You know, obviously, you know, everybody's happy and skipping along through meadows and la-di-da-di-da-di-da. And then the war happens and everything's dark and evil and blah, blah, blah. But I gotta say, these opening moments of this movie, I think they might have gone a little overboard with her, making her like the Snow White of Poland, in that, you know, she runs a zoo and, you know, she can just go up to elephants when they're pissed off and talk to them, and the elephant knows that she's there to help them, you know, and the hippo is her friend, and she lets lion cubs sleep in the house with her kid. You know, I mean, maybe that all really happened. I mean, it's based on a true story, so when that happens, you know there's some liberties taken somewhere along the line. So I don't know how much of this is true, and every time I bitch about something being too unbelievable, that turns out to be the shit that's true. But my God, they really wanted to just show that she was just the Snow fucking White of Poland. You know, I was expecting a musical number to break out and a little cartoon bird to land on her shoulder. And that, again, that's what kind of lured you into the false sense of security about the film. Oh, what? I don't know if that lightning's picking up on the computer, but that's pretty hardcore. Not explain the sinus headache I've had for the entire fucking day. Oh, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, the false sense of security. So they're obviously doing that, and I think they did it on purpose to kind of play up the just how gruesome things were gonna get. You know, so giving that stark contrast of, you know, before shit really kind of hits the fan. But because then you think the whole thing's going to be one of these little just kind of outsmarting the Nazis films, kind of like Monument Men. You know, anybody remember that boring piece of crap that George Clooney did? Oh God, my head. So like I said, kind of thinking of Monument Men, where, you know, it was just kind of a series of events, and, you know, nothing really of substance happened. Just kind of, aren't we so much smarter than the Nazis kind of thing. So you kind of felt that's like what you were in for, and that is not what you were in for. Not even a little bit. Ultimately, sorry, just a lot of pain just hit all of a sudden. Ultimately, I'm glad I saw this movie. I think it's a fantastic movie. I don't know if I'd buy it. And yes, people who have Netflix, I still buy movies. I still prefer to buy them than have them streamed. That's how I judge a good movie. Would I buy this film? I don't know if I'd ever buy it, because I don't know if there's much in terms of rewatch value. But it's a good movie, and I recommend it. But I gotta tell you, I gotta warn you, going in, you gotta be ready for some shit. You gotta be ready for some psychological shit, man. and again, I'm sorry to harp on. I'm selling this movie really short because a lot of wonderful things happen in this movie. Some gorgeous cinematography, set design. I appreciate. I mean, if I find out later they did, and I'm just like, I didn't realize that, I'm going to be really, really shocked, and I'd be happy to eat my words. But I love that there's not a lot. I couldn't see any computer animated animals or scenery in this. I think they probably used some for maybe some backdrops, But this one of the reasons I like going and seeing movies like this is knowing that I'd say 90 to 99% of it is practical. It's all real. There's not one lick of computer animation in it that I could see. The animals, I mean, that looked like she was in there with real animals. There's no CGI elephants, or camels. And yeah, again, that's why you got to give Jessica, a huge props for that performance. And so, I mean, it all feels so real, and it all is very real. So I like that element. Like I say, beautiful cinematography. The directing style. I don't know this director right off the top of my head. I couldn't even tell you, again, shamefully, if this is a male or female director, because the name's Nikki, N-I-K-I, I believe. And I don't know if that's a male or female Nikki, because I know there are both, but whoever they are, that is some goddamn directing talent right there, folks. I mean, really, really great, and like I said, knows how to deliver those gut punches without being gratuitous, without making it all about this violent, gruesome imagery, and I really respect that. Because a lot of directors, especially with handling this type of subject material, don't show that type of restraint. And this is clearly a director who said, we're going to let your imagination do the work for us. We're going to show you the bullet points, no pun intended there, and your imagination with with what these motherfuckers did. We're gonna let that fill in the blanks for us, and I think that was a really clever way to do it. And yeah, I mean, this is one of the best suspense films I've seen in a long time. Don't let that poster of her hugging the little kitty, the lion cub, fool you. It is not that. I mean, this thing is intense and brutal and honest, and it's a good film. In retrospect, not the best film to go to relax, as I thought I was doing. I was like, I've had a long couple weeks here, folks. I've, tech week, opening a show, trying to get work done. My days have been just so crammed. That might be why my head's kind of hurting, honestly. But anyway, so it's like I wanted to go out and do a drive home review before I'm back to the grind tomorrow. And I'm like, I've been wanting to see this Zookeepers wife. That looked good, my friend Elizabeth. I'm like, hey, let's go see Zookeepers wife. Yay, and we went and saw it. And I mean, this thing is not. This is not the unwinding movie. This is the kind of movie. The first thing I thought, honestly, after it was over, was like, I really need to do a goddamn Indiana Jones marathon to watch him beat the shit out of some Nazis. Now I need to go watch something where the Nazis get their asses kicked, just because you really were. I mean, goddamn, you just wanted to see these people die. And I mean, it made the beautiful moments. Not unlike photographing a diamond against black velvet. I mean, it made the beautiful moments all the more beautiful. And I think, again, really, really good direction. So yeah, I mean, this is a good one, folks. But you gotta go into it ready. You gotta gear yourself up a bit, because if you just go into it going, let's go see let's go see this movie about oh ho ho, aren't we smarter than the Nazis? You are in for a rude hellish awakening, my friends. You need to be prepared. So yeah, so that's the Zookeeper's wife. And man, I don't know if the tension or what. My head is killing me. Anyway, but yeah, I liked it. I liked it a lot. So next time we'll see if I can see something a little more relaxing. So go check this one out, but be ready for it. And until next time, drive safe, and I'll see you at the